got what's his name? Clyde. That's your first round pick. That's not even cracking the lineup.
I think I'm going to start Clyde regardless. It's a juicy. The whole Raiders team defense isn't practicing this week.
I saw that. All right, let's get this cooking. Yeah.
Let's do this.
You'll recap last week. Maybe I'll chat in on a couple things. And then this should probably be a quicker episode, right?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. You and I can get going.
What about the game tonight? I got the over.
I'm not rooting for offense. I kind of like the Seahawks, but
yeah.
Dap, I have the same, obviously you had this 3 weeks ago against Dim, this same matchup, and those two wideouts just went off.
Oh yeah, you're facing both them. Shit. D-Hop's gonna feast.
D-Hop's gonna feast. Yeah.
Literally gonna feast.
I'm more hoping Locke gets shut down because D-Hop's going to get his.
Oh, he's going off.
Especially against that secondary.
James Robinson.
When did Weinstein text you about that pick'em league, Ross?
I'm pretty sure while I was on the pod last week.
He texted me at 7:45 on Thursday last week and was just he's like, you trying to be in a pick'em? And then I texted him back at 8:30 and he was like, I was like, yeah, sure. He goes, but bro, you missed the Thursday night game. I was like, you texted me 40 minutes before the fucking Thursday night game.
I had a tough showing in my picks last week.
I'm gonna do the show in my mask.
Please don't. All right, let's get this show on the road.
All right, lose the video.
I don't even know what I'm gonna say. Just going off the cuff.
Me too. That's always. All right, I'll start off. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, Ross has the music. He's doing the intro.
I'm doing the music?
No, I'll start off. I meant the video. My camera.
Do you want me to just do it like I was just doing, Dap, where I hold it up to my headphones?
Yeah, it sounded loud.
Okay. All right. Give me tell me when you're ready.
We're good. We're just recording. I cut out the beginning every time.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Paradise Valley Podcast. Your one-time host, Patrick Jamross, is here to lead the Pirates to victory. Alongside me is my fellow brother, D. Brown.
What's up, Ross? Good to be here. We're missing the lead host again, Charlie, back-to-back weeks. The kid is working overtime or something.
Yeah, kid's got some crazy hours. There was some miscommunication about last night getting it done. And given that this is probably the biggest fantasy relevant matchup of the week, Thursday night, we figured we'd get it in before. We also got our brother C. Dap in the booth. What's going on, Dap?
What up? Another tough week. Still here. Pushing.
I mean, you said it in the group, Dap. It really comes down to you and Lane for the punishment.
Yeah, the only thing I can say good about this week is that he took the L as well.
Yeah, and he's got way more points on you, so you got to get that head-to-head.
Got it.
It's looking like that. Likely one of those two will get it, but I mean, it's still up for potentially someone else to slip up. So, but I'm looking at that last week 10. I'm looking at just at a freaking glance right here. Not too many high-scoring teams. Not too many high-scoring scores across the valley last week, Ross.
Oh yeah. I mean, Dap, I don't know if you want to pull that screen up, but I think I finished second in the week with 111, which is
yeah, man.
I mean, it's good. It's not great. We're going through them all. All right, yeah, let's do this.
I mean,
this was a big one. We hyped it up, and Sheehan's team came to perform. Kyler, he had a lot of rushing. I think he had 2 rushing TDs, and obviously the Hail Mary to break D. Brown's back. But I don't know what the problem with D. Brown. I think it was kind of the Bengals guys didn't come to play.
Yeah, I did a little calculation. I mean, both my running backs, it's just been a tough year. CMC letting us down. In a week like this where you lose by, it looks like 17 or something, 18, 19-ish. It's like McCaffrey, when you got to start Duke Johnson, Bernard, McCaffrey's letting us down this year. But yeah, I did some calculations, and T. Higgins, he had the big day against the Steelers defense. And if I flipped it, Tyler Boyd, who's been like Burrow's most consistent option, I think he only ended up with 7 points, and Higgins went off for, I think, what did he have, 19. I flipped it. If Boyd had the big day and got 19, and Higgins was held to 7, just a little flip flop, I would have ended up winning the matchup. I mean, Kyler Murray in the first half, he was held to like 5 fantasy points, and then the guy's just a beast. He ended up blowing up 2 touchdowns in the second half.
It's got to be tough having Chase Claypool go for 2 on the bench.
Yeah, definitely.
2 TDs,
definitely.
yeah.
Claypool's a beast, though.
But, I mean, we respected the lineup that Sheehan rolled with this week after the controversy, but that's a big win. He's leading the pack of the 5-5 teams right now. He's the one technically in the playoffs, so it's a team to look out for.
I think on the year, Sheehan's third most points scored, so he's definitely a good squad.
Yeah, definitely. We got the Warriors getting another big win to stay comfortably in the playoff spots right now. CDAP got his boy Chubb back, who put up a great game. It's tough, even if he goes in for that touchdown. It's not really much of a match.
Like it wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah, you gotta look at those wide.
I'm good. I'm glad to see that he got back with 18, had a good game. Like he looked good, like didn't look hurt at all. Mike Davis was a shit show, but fuck it. I mean, Curtis Samuel was I got called out for it on the podcast last week. Kept him in. He didn't do shit.
I mean, all your wideouts really had tough days.
Yeah, Devontae Parker had a tough TD taken away. We thought the shin was in, but apparently it wasn't.
Yeah, I was expecting more points in that Rams Seahawks game. Robert Woods, big letdown. I mean, I was definitely expecting more points on both sides of the ball in that game.
But I mean, J.D. McKissick getting in for a TD on the 1, that definitely hurt. But Juju putting up against me.
Juju just going, yeah.
I mean, all the Steelers wideouts balled out, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a big win for Hall, and then.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say big win for Hall, and it just confirms Dap's gonna be in the basement for the season probably.
Yep, and I was on the podcast last week. Based on the matchups going in, I was like, "There's no way Hall wins this one," but he snuck it out. I mean, he's 6-4, so.
I mean, yeah. If you look at it, 106 is one of the top scores of the week, so can't knock him there.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll hop into mine real quick. This was a big one. We needed it. The low-scoring game in that Seahawks-Rams really benefited me. Russ had a tough day. DK had a tough day. Quick little note, Josh Jacobs, 2 games against me this year. Week 1, he went for 30, and then this week he goes for 27.6. His clear 2 best weeks of the season. I don't know what I did to him, but and then a little note, like the 2 kickers going for 16, like really – propelled our team, but gotta love DeAndre Swift. Stepped up big. Ayuk, even though he didn't end up outscoring Thielen, we'll still take that 16, and we're happy to get the win against the Hot Trippers team.
Yep. Ross is dude, they gotta, I mean, and the Eagles just signed Jordan Howard. He won't be there for a little bit, but it's like they got a free Miles Sanders for real. It's like every time he touches the ball, it's like 6-7 yards. Just he makes plays happen, and they just don't give him enough touches in my mind.
Yeah.
Dude, Scott obviously got that long TD, but the second one, Sanders runs it to the 4 to get 1st and goal, and they bring in Corey Clement to run it in. I was pissed.
Yeah, it's like it was his first game back, right?
Yeah, I mean, they said he got like 70% of the backfield snaps and touches, like just happened to not get the 2 TDs. So
but then
I'm hoping for a big week.
Then I saw the update that they signed Jordan Howard, and I'm like, that's just the classic Doug Peterson. It's like, what are you doing? It's like the best back is Miles Sanders. Like, give him the ball.
Yeah.
He's a big.
Yeah. But we'll take that W, Kirch. I mean, D. Brown said it last week. If he loses 5 straight, he could be out of the playoffs. I don't see that with that roster, but
definitely not.
It's always good to start the losing streak.
Yep.
Sandman edges another one out against C-Mac. I think if you go back and look at the 2 matchups, Sandman's won 2 of them by a combined like 4 points. And you just had going into that night game, I think he was down 30 with Lamar, Ingram, and Tucker. You just got to expect that he'd end up getting it. But, I mean, Mark Ingram, I don't know why he's seeing the lineup for Mac. I think that really shows the lack of depth he has at the running back spot, that he's got to play an Ingram guy. And then again, Sandman just, I think almost 33% of his points came from Alvin Kamara. He's just riding him. And I don't know if Sandman's team's looking as potent as it once did with some of his guys underproducing now, and he can't find a QB, but he'll gladly take that win.
Definitely rivalry match for Sandman, and to have it be this close on Sunday night. What was it? Monday night? I can't remember. It was Sunday night, right?
Sunday night, yeah.
Yeah, it was Sunday night. It definitely feels good for Sandman. But it's like C-Mac, he had on his bench, he's got, what's his face? Gus Edwards, who I don't know why you wouldn't play him over Mark Ingram. Ingram's first game back. And it's like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And then if we touch on that trade a little bit, so he's going to take Evans out of his lineup. And I mean, it's just like if he made that trade, he wouldn't even have been competitive in this or going forward. So, I mean, I don't know where C-Mac's head was at last week, but he deserved this loss.
I mean, yeah. And then if you look at it with Fournette gone too, like obviously Fournette's not that it's a terrible game, but who else was he going to play there? Like, I think the trade was well addressed and why people didn't agree with it, and it ended up getting vetoed essentially, and we're happy that it's not through, and we'll see. I mean, I saw today or a couple days ago that George Kittle's like likely done. So
yeah, Kittle's done. And Eckler's not back, so it's like I don't know where C-Mac's head was at, because he wouldn't have been competitive in the rivalry week, and he wouldn't have been competitive going forward. So it's like I'm glad that it didn't happen, but I wish in a way that it did, in a sense, because
I wish exactly. So he suffered. I still don't see this team making the playoffs.
Exactly. Yep, definitely.
We can move on, Dap. I think this is the last one. I mean, Dim probably his worst performance in a while, but it's not even close. The CD TDs go from scoring 150 the week before to 68. It's a two-man battle for that clown suit, and right now they're both looking the part. And the McKinnon-Gordon combination at running back's just not going to do it. We'll see if Lane getting Kelsey back helps this week, but Dim's putting together one of the better seasons we've seen in the Valley. I was thinking today that James Robinson is by far the pickup of the year. Like, that was just number 4 running back. Every day he scores a TD, it feels like. So Dim's a scary squad. We got him this week, but this is almost with Kirch losing basically puts him in as the 1 seed. So it's basically focused on the playoffs with the Dogs.
For sure. Now you're just looking for Dim. You're looking playoff matchups. Try to get some favorable matchups. Maybe before the trade deadline hits, make another move or something. But he's got a good squad. Hats off to Dim. Respect for a good year. And I think he's won 8 straight. So it's like he's feeling great this season.
Yeah, he has. I think knowing Joe Dim is the owner he is, he's going to stick with his squad and run with it. I can't really see him making a move.
Yeah, most likely will.
Unless it's like something that's crazy tempting.
Unless you got to be. You're sitting there 9-1. You got to be, unless it's very favorable for you. I mean, you got to stand pat probably.
Yeah,
he's got good players.
Yeah. He does. He's got a good squad.
Good week. It was a good week. I mean, we were talking about it last week. We needed C-Dap to win. He let us down, and I was trying to get Ross has said it all season. He was saying it about me and Dap's teams. Dap's team kind of fell off, but if I could have got to 5-5, that was kind of our goal. Ross was saying it needed to happen. It's a long shot for playoffs. We're still fighting, but we would have loved to get to 5-5, and we would have loved to see Dap step up and get the win. But we both.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take the 1 win though out of Sandman. So now at this point, that still benefits you and everyone at 5-5. We got 4 teams at 5-5. 1 team at 4-6, 1 team at 6-4. Like, Caleb could easily lose 2 straight. You win 2 straight.
Yep.
A bunch of us go 1-1, and the whole league's basically tied at 6-6. So there's still a lot of scenarios that can get almost everyone except Dap and Lane in the playoffs.
4 more weeks of football. 4 more weeks of football.
All right, let's get into over-unders. D. Brown is hot as hell. I think he's 6-0 in the last 3 weeks. Caleb and I are struggling. I'm big time. I went 1-1. I think Caleb went 1-1 as well. So, I mean, look at that. I'm 2 games out. Caleb's 3. So, gonna need an 0-2 out of D and 2-0 for the other 2 of us.
I forget what our wager was on this.
I think it's $20 each.
Yeah,
maybe even 50. I think it might have been. I'd do 50. I'd still do 50 at this point.
Wow.
But we'll
I mean, yeah, there's
I mean,
4
we're
more
only
weeks
2
of football.
games out. 4
4
more.
more weeks of
I
football.
expect us to do playoffs as well.
True.
But let's get into them.
Yep. So yeah, we're
First
hot.
D.
And we're hot, and this week, I mean, we're gonna trust freaking famous Jameis, Mike Thomas. You got to play like the first round pick. He's really gutted all season. And I mean, it's been due to injury, but even in the games he's played, I'm not sure if he has a touchdown. I could check it real quick. I will, but this week against the Falcons defense, I mean, Jameis loves to air it out. It's like maybe the switch to Jameis, hate to say it, for Drew Brees helps him a little bit just because he has a big arm. So we'll see. 12.8. I think he finds the end zone at least once. Should go over that. I'm going to see if he's scored yet this year. But
I don't think he has, but I was thinking that pick as well. And I think Matt Berry said it, like, if you're Jameis Winston, who are you going to throw the ball to? Like,
right.
You're trying to get another contract. You're going to feed the best player on your team.
Yeah, he's only
Him
played
or
3
Kamara,
games.
but-
He's only played 3 games. He hasn't scored a touchdown. But I mean, and a lot of it's the injury. But it's been a bust of a season for Mike Thomas. Let's break out of the slump and hit the over.
I'm going with a little hometown love. New England Patriots. All of a sudden, we back in this playoff picture. Damian Harris. He looks like a solid back. Goodbye, Sony Michel. He's getting a lot of rushes a game. The Pats, like Chris Collinsworth said it the other night, he was talking to Belichick, and like Belichick knows his team, and like he has a good offensive line, and he's going to run that football and try and have Cam throw it as little as possible. So I think Houston's rush D is terrible. You saw Kareem and Chubb both go up over 100. I think Harris gets in the end zone, and he easily beats this projection.
Yeah, I love this matchup for sure for the Pats running backs. Definitely for Harris. He's the lead back. I mean, he's taking the role. I mean, he's ran with it. He's not going to give it up. The Alabama freaking running back RBU.
Yeah. I think Dab said it perfectly, though. Like, yeah, Cam Newton and Rex Burkhead get all the TDs.
Literally.
It's fun.
Harris looks like a nice back, though.
Little Charlie's pick. He's going. You want to do it, Dab? Yeah, you can do it.
Sure. You went with Connor. He's playing the Jags. 13.8. I like it. I mean, I think he's due. He's had like 3 quiet weeks in a row now. Like, I don't know. I think the Jags rush defense is obviously terrible, ranked at 27. Probably have a good game.
Yep. Just this is an update from Sandman last week. His over of the week. Do you guys remember it? He put
Yeah,
his
it was
in.
Connor, right?
No, it was
Wasn't it
Jared
Connor?
Goff. It was Jared Goff.
Yeah.
And he put up like
10.8.
10, and he was projected for like, I think, 15 or 16. It was so funny. So,
He
yeah,
ran the
Sandman's
ball
in.
so much in that game. It was crazy.
I just remember he was like, all right, I can put one in. He's like, for shits and giggles. He goes, Jared Goff.
Let's get into some unders.
All right, my under for this week, I changed it up. I was going to go Fournette at first, but now I'm going to go Carlos Hyde. Chris Carson ruled out, and Hyde, this is his first game back in a couple weeks from a hamstring injury. I think this one's going to be just let Russ cook through the air most of it. He's projected for 10.8. The Seahawks also, this is a sneaky thing to keep the eyes on tonight. They have that DJ Dallas back who's still been not like exceptionally well, but he's done decent. He scored a couple touchdowns when Carson's been out. But they also just signed Alex Collins, the guy that used to play on the Raiders or the
He got a TD last week.
Literally, and Pete Carroll has even said that he wants to get him more work for some reason. So it's like I don't think Hyde's going to get too much work in his first game back. I think he goes under tonight.
I like that.
Sandman's starting him too. Sandman, I was texting Sandman earlier, and I was like, "Yo, we need you to beat Matty C this week. This is a big week." And he was like, "I've held on to Carlos Hyde all year. This is kind of the reason why I switched it up." He goes, "I've held on to Carlos Hyde all year for the handcuff. This is the week it pays off." And I'm like, "I don't know about that, man." I'm like, "Maybe start AB." And he's like, "I'm riding Hyde. No change in my mind." And I'm like, "That's a wild start." He goes, "I'm the wildest manager in the league for a reason."
We'll see if this pays off. I mean, I did see a quote. Pete Carroll's trying to run the ball a little more, so we'll see if they pound it. But I kind of like that pick. They have 3 good running backs now, or 3 running backs they use. I wouldn't say good. I'm going with Aaron Jones. I feel like if you look at his game logs the past couple weeks, he's really been pretty like 15 for 60 type games, maybe a few catches. Colts rush D is ferocious. Even Henry got 100 yards, but they felt like they were all over him all game. I see him staying under. I see them trying to get Rodgers to throw the ball on the secondary, which seems a little worse than the rush defense. And they like to, like Trev said last week, they like to give Rodgers those 1-yard passing TDs. So we're going under.
And they also Jamal Williams got a lot of run last week. Like I was playing Sheehan and Aaron Jones, I think he got against the Jags, and I was like, he's gonna feast. And I was like, is that Jamal Williams on another carry? And Jamal Williams was getting a lot of work.
Yeah, they like both of them there, so that's another slightly sketchy part.
Yep.
So I went with Brandon Cooks. I don't hate it. I don't know. The Pats D hasn't looked as good as it was last year at all in the secondary, but like Cooks is a big play kind of guy. One play gets him 11.9, like probably close to it.
He is a big play guy. He's been heavily involved ever since they fucking fired Bill O'Brien. Just an idiot. Bill O'Brien is like, let's get rid of D-Hop, trade for this guy, not even use him, and then they get rid of him. Their offense has been better since. So I don't know. It's a sketchy one because he is a big hitter.
I feel like him and Fuller are both.
He might be trying to get some payback on the Pats, but I kind of like that pick for Hall.
Yeah. Darn it.
He's been going off, so he would definitely, if he scores another one, he would keep it up and he'd be elite. So I'm like this past 5 weeks.
No, he had a pretty bad game against me for Kirk. He had like 6 points. Yeah.
Okay.
He only had like 30 yards, but he had a bunch of catches. But let's get into, week 11, 4 weeks left. A lot of dogs still in this fight. Let's see what this is again. Ooh, it looks like we got our host in here. Caleb will be joining. Just in time for the previews.
I admit it.
But yeah, like I was saying, a lot of dogs left in this fight, and we were talking in pre-pod. If you look at it, there's probably like eight or nine valuable fantasy players in this matchup tonight. It's going to be, I know my matchup's big for it. D Browns will be, Sheehan's, Kirch's, Sandman's. What up, Shaw?
All right.
You were a little frozen there.
I said better late than never, but apparently I'm not even fucking here. So.
You're good now.
All right. No, you're good.
All right. Don't stop
because
of me, though. Keep it rolling.
All right. You just missed your over-unders, but we got those in. Let's get into the week. All right. I say D Brown, you take this one.
All right. Yeah, this is a big one. This is Wakanda Warriors, 6-4, man. I don't know if they're a 6-4 team, but they're 6-4. They're stringing together wins. Their backfield this week. Mixon's not playing. He's in there again. He's not going to play.
We got Bert. We got Rexy. Rexy's ready to go.
The updated backfield is J.D. McKissick, who's a sneaky play, I guess, in PPR formats. I guess he's a sneaky play. Like, he's not a sexy play, but he's like a receiver. He gets like 7, 8, 9 catches a game.
Just watched him.
And then he puts in a
14 last week.
A couple rushes. Yeah, that was his best week of the season. I'm still skeptical on him, but I mean, because he's not a sexy play, but he's.
Alex Smith drops back and looks for one guy, and it's two guys, Terry and JD.
It's true. Rex Burkhead, it's a good matchup against the Texans. They're awful. They're just a joke team. Texans are 2-0 against the Jags and 7 against the rest of the league. They're a bad team. Their defense is terrible every year. But Aaron Rodgers, he's got a tough matchup against Indy. I don't love the backfield just because I don't know if you can definitely rely on it for a big day. They're going to need touchdowns to put in for it. But Calvin Ridley, questionable. We'll see if he comes back. Godwin, he's been doing better, honestly, since AB's came along. And then Andrews is a pretty touchdown dependent. Juju's definitely been better since that trade. And then you're playing against the Trippers. This is a tough matchup. Like I was talking to Ross earlier, I mean, just looking at it for playoff perspectives, I'll take a win from either one right here. Kirch is definitely the favorite. He's got the better team, and his team is back off buys. And he's got a sneaky play at his flex. Kalen Ballage somehow has came along, and now Anthony Lynn is just giving him lead back in freaking San Diego. So, I don't know. I'm going to lean Kirch here, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think you got to lean Kirch just with the team he has. But the way the the Warriors just keep finding a ways to win.
Keep counting us out, baby. Keep counting us out.
You got to look at the running backs, though, those two. It's got to be tough seeing Jacobs coming in pretty hot against his former team. And then it's nice for Kurtz to get Tyreek Hill back. But this is a big one tonight. DK and Russ, they put up a dud against me last week. We'll see. DK also put up a dud against Arizona earlier in the season. So we'll see if – I think Charles would be pretty happy if one of them stay under their projections.
Patrick Peterson.
Got to give the nod to Kurtz right now. And I think for playoff purposes, I'm probably rooting for Kurtz as well. Get the Warriors back in the pack with the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning Kurtz as well. And then, yeah, but I mean, Patrick Peterson, that's a good matchup to watch on DK. He did hold him in check last game. We'll see if he can do it again. DK's had a quiet past couple of weeks, so he's definitely looking to break out. He's been frustrated on the field the past couple of weeks. I've seen it.
For sure. I don't love my matchups, but hey, we continue to surprise and we ain't stopping anytime soon, so get ready.
Something special brewing in Wakanda.
I'm going to hop into this bad boy. This is a big one for D Brown. I texted him today. I was like, you can't lose the Nappers in the playoff push. One game out. You got to take care of business. Projections are pretty close. Is Drake definitely getting the start tonight?
I think so. I got this point.
Okay, Kenyon Drake. We'll see what he can do. Second round pick. I mean, they like to give him the ball.
He had 100 yards last
trash. Week. Yeah, definitely. And then, I mean, Julio, it's also time for Cooper Kupp to step up for you. He's been pretty hit or miss with a lot of misses lately. Hunter Henry against the Jets, you got to like that matchup. Seems like Herbert finds him around the end zone. Claypool against the Jags, another pretty juicy matchup. Hopping over to Daps. Brady against the Rams, that's a tough one. The Rams really shut down Russ last week. Mike Davis, we'll see. He's been a little banged up, and we'll see what – I took Damian Harris as my over, so I think he put it a good game. But I think it all comes down to Daps wideouts. If Woods can out-duel Kupp and then Devontae Parker can find the end zone, I think Dap has a shot at winning this. But I want to give the slight nod to the Rockers.
Yeah, this is a big one. We would like to pull it out. I mean, it looks like we're going to leave Drake in. I mean, it could be a shootout, but it's like I don't feel comfortable replacing Edmonds with him. I mean, Cooper Kupp might come out of the lineup late night right now before this game real quick, and maybe I'll put Claypool at the wideout, flex Edmonds. That's possible. Start both the Arizona backs, but that's how you know
wild,
things are getting sketchy.
That would be
this
dangerous.
Kid loves to play people on Thursday night just to play him and see the points show up against his name. That's what he loves more than anything.
All. He texted me last week and he's like, should I play T.Y. Hilton? And I was like, absolutely not. He's like, I think he has a big night. Like, I just like having someone on Thursday. And he put up like 5 points.
I got to start one Arizona back. I mean,
I'd start Edmonds.
I know. That's what
I wish I didn't trade him to you. That stupid-ass trade we made after the podcast one week.
It's such a bad trade.
Hey, I mean,
we can move on.
You mentioned Brady had a big bad week. I mean, Tua is in consideration to slide in that lineup on Sunday against Denver.
Who's Tua got? Oh, Denver.
He was under 15 last week.
Yeah,
I mean, Denver's a bad defense, and I could totally see that game being a shootout.
Wait, didn't I? I feel like I played you, and Brady was on a Monday night game last time I played you or something.
Yeah.
Was he?
I think, yeah.
All right. C-Dap, you want to take this game? How about you do a preview?
Sure. All right, we got TDs versus the Ravens Nest. As much as I hate to say it, like, I think Lane might be getting one this week. Just looking at his team, like, compared to Collins, like Zeke. Maybe, like, Collins' only hope is Zeke finally coming through for him with one of those, like, 30-point weeks that he's been hoping for. Because I don't really see Fournette doing much against the Rams. Keenan Allen and, like, Mike Evans could have good games, but the Rams, like you said, Mike Evans might get shut down. He's pretty touchdown dependent. He gets those short touchdowns in the red zone. Gus Edwards, I don't really love going up against Tennessee. Bucs defense, Justin Tucker's always consistent, obviously, but Matt Ryan, bad. Not a great matchup against the Saints, but I still think that's better than Lamar Jackson going up against Tennessee. I don't really like Lamar a lot this year at all. Melvin Gordon, and I think Hines is a good pickup for him. I think 9.6 is a low projection for him. I think he's going to have a good week. They like dumping it off to him, screens and short passes. He was in there for I think 70% of the downs in the red zone last week. So it was big for me that Taylor got stuffed, but didn't end up mattering. Will Fuller is kind of hit or miss for me, so I'm kind of hoping he has a bad game because I do want Lane to lose, but I don't think he's going to. Travis Kelce, I see having a big game. Brown, pretty touchdown dependent. Either way, I still give it to Lane. Like I said on Stock Down last week, I don't see C-Mac winning much of the rest of the year. His team's pretty short at the running back position, especially with Zeke not producing this year. So I got to give it to Lane.
The only
I
thing,
have to agree.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have to agree just quickly. I mean, projections don't mean a lot of the times, but when you're getting projected 96 and you got your full healthy lineup out there, your team's not scary at all. But a quick note on Lanes, I think I saw that Devontae Adams is like there's a good chance he might not play, which completely hurts the CD TDs because he's been putting in a lot. If you went and did the numbers, I bet he scored at least 25% of Lane's points the last 4 or 5 weeks, so that would hurt a lot.
Nyheim Hines, the only thing about the Colts is there's just so many running backs there. It's tough for one to break out. It's I don't know if even though he did beast, did he fully separate himself to get enough work every week to be a fantasy starter? We'll see, because he is a good pass catcher, but I don't think he's really. They have Jordan Taylor, Jonathan Taylor, and then that Wilkins guy. So we'll see if Hines can consistently produce. But
I hope not. Man.
Yeah,
I've
never fully believed in him. He looked really good last week, but I don't know if he's going to get enough touches every week unless they commit to him more. But
I hope it was game flow, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's true too. They're playing the GB Packers, so they could go game flow with Hines if they got to pass a lot.
Yep.
But so if Adams misses, Lane who could he go to? He could put Marquise Brown at the wide out, and then who would be his flex? Anyone know? Maybe Adrian.
I think he has Shark.
He just picked up Adrian Peterson, who he might start if what's his name. He also was texting me earlier about Latavius Murray because Kamara missed practice. So he's high on Murray and AP, he said.
That's when you know you got a desperate team.
But yeah, can we get C-Mac, a campaign for C-Mac to last place? If he loses out, could he potentially be there? We
would need Dap and Lane to win 3 out of their next 4.
That's tough.
They play each other.
No, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, so it'd be unlikely, but it feels like he deserves it at this point.
Gus Edwards, who he's damn, if he started Gus Edwards last week, he would have won. And I was just looking when we played each other, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, you had Brady on Monday night against the Giants. Now you have Brady on Monday night against the Rams. Why is Brady getting Monday night games every other week?
He's been on prime time all the time.
Come on. But yeah, I definitely lean in. I would lean CDCTs. His team goes from 150 against Ross and then 60 points against freaking.
Yeah, you don't know what you're getting.
It's tough to predict, but I think I can predict that C-Mac's team will go under this projected total.
Let's move on. Love it. Shaw, you want to do this?
Yeah, sure. My internet's fine. I'm not laggy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're
good,
fine.
baby.
It was just right when you came in.
Okay,
you're
cool.
Good.
All right, this one's a big one. Mountain Goats. We've been saying it all along. If they can stay healthy, I know Sheehan, obviously with that big deal that ended up being reversed, he's still looking to make moves. Me and him were in talks. But if this is the team he goes with, I like it. I think he's got the win over Salmon. I think he, with Jonesy against if Adams is out against Indianapolis, I know it's a tough matchup, but he's been a little quiet. I think he bounces back in a big way, especially if Adams is out. Gurley against the Saints, that's going to be a shootout, and that guy, he, like no one else I've ever seen before, has a nose for the end zone because he has been bad this year except for that. Not bad, but pretty bad. And then obviously Thomas, his wide receivers, Higgins, Moore, they've been solid. I mean, not sexy names, but both been solid. So I like Sheen's team up and down. Obviously, Kittle going out. He was looking for Andrews for me this week, so he's looking for tight end help. But Ebron's not a bad substitution. And as far as Sandman's team goes, it's good. You just got to wonder, this is the team he's been sticking with all year, and is it going to win him a championship? Is he going to continue to play the wrong quarterback? And is Kamara going to carry him? James Conner's kind of quieted down. Chris Carson, obviously, with injuries, not looking like he's playing tonight. So, obviously, I don't know who Sandman has in there as the flex right now, but we'll see. We'll see. I just got to give the edge to Sheehan. I think this is obviously a huge, huge matchup for playoffs, and I think Sheehan's got a better team, so I'm going with that.
Spot on. Yeah, I agree with all that. I like talking about Trev's. Is this going to be the team that wins them? It definitely not in my mind. Earlier, 4 weeks ago, it was. Not anymore. I don't think Trev's making playoffs. I think Sheehan's got a good team.
Let's see who Sandman has in there right now. He's got Hyde. Yeah.
Hyde. D Brown put him as under.
And then Ross also has Aaron Jones, who Charles talking for a big game as his.
I think I'm going to give the nod to Sheehan as much as I'm rooting for the Sandman just because Sheehan's right now. He's got the most points out of any of us at 5-5. So it'd be pretty key for him to lose a game from my standpoint. And some people like D Brown and other 5-5 teams. But this is probably the biggest matchup of the week. 2 5-5 guys. One of them's going to get at 6-5 and stay tied for the last spot. And one of them's going to be a game out. And Sandman's been talking championship. I mean, besides Kamara, it's Robbie Anderson's been on a cold streak. He doesn't find the end zone. It's been tough not having Carson or Galladay, but it's just he picks the wrong QBs, and then it's just when he wins, it feels like it's tight ones just at 100. It's the when is Sandman going to blow the league away like he claims his team is, and I just don't think that's coming.
I'm with you. Wish he was here to defend himself. I will say he did a great job filling in for me last week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good pod. It was fun. Obviously, that pod and half of this one, we missed our leader, but it's been fun. We've been picking up the slack a little bit.
Love to hear it.
Sheehan, freaking Kyler Murray, back on that one real quick just for a second. Kyler Murray's a beast. I got Kyler Murray MVP odds for betting. He's a stud, dude. He's gotten 10 rushing touchdowns.
Dap said a little while ago that like Russ was the clear-cut MVP, and I think at this point it's like it's like Kyler Mahomes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Mahomes or Kyler. I have Kyler
or Rodgers. Rodgers has been good too.
Rodgers is sneaky. Yeah, he's for sure. He's Rodgers is just the guy that you don't appreciate. He's putting up beast numbers right behind Mahomes. Mahomes has 1 touchdown, but Kyler Murray, I got a plus 750 on him. We'll see.
Not bad. That's
bad. He's a beast. I like Murray a lot.
D Brown, you want to take this last one away?
Yeah, Dim Dog 8-game win streak against the Pirates, coming in off a hot win against the Trippers. Herbert against the Jets, that's 30 plus. Chalk it up. Maybe not 30 plus because he got the haircut, so maybe we'll temper it down. Expectations to like 22 plus. But yeah, Herbert should go off. Sanders, if they just got to give him the ball more, and he's a beast. He's receiving. I like Sanders a lot if they feed him. And I don't think Swift will end up playing because of the concussion protocol this late in the week. If you just enter it, he's probably not going to play. So that's a tough blow, but it's not really a tough blow when you're the Pirates and you got your first-round pick, Edwards-Helaire, on your bench running back against the Raiders this week. So he can easily replace that. Kareem Hunt, even with Chubb, what did Hunt do last week? He still put up respectable numbers, right?
100 yards.
Yeah, I mean, Hunt's a beast. He's got his role. That's just a lethal ground game in Cleveland, so they can support both the running backs. Adam Thielen against Dallas, you got to love that. A.J. Brown, maybe you take him out of the lineup questionably. I think it's on the bye, right?
Well, we're thinking maybe Jacoby Myers. We'll have to think about
who's he got.
Newton's been loving him lately.
I love that. When you picked him up, I was like, that's a sneaky pickup. Who do the Pats got this week?
The Texans.
Ooh.
I don't know. It's going to be tough. I mean, A.J. Brown, I'm just thinking they're probably going to be down against Baltimore in passing, but that defense is pretty good.
That definitely. And then just that from that one catch week last week, maybe you sit him down, Myers has been
I know.
heavily involved. But over to Dim Dogs, can Ross take down the Giant? Mahomes against Vegas, just like Mahomes, that should be chalking up for 25, 30, right?
Definitely.
Ross is not liking that one. D. Henry against Baltimore.
Last time I played Dim, he played Vegas and he had like 25 easy.
Did he? That sucks. It seems like, I don't know, Henry's a beast, but in the past couple of games, he's slowed down a little bit just from his usual standards, I guess, and he's playing another tough defense. So James Robinson, questionable. I checked it. It was a shoulder injury against the Steelers. So optimism there for Ross that maybe Robinson gets held in check. Hopkins is going to feast tonight. Lockett, we'll see. He's coming off an injury. Like Ross said, his past 6 games, if you looked at his log, it's like 5 points, 4 points, 45, and then like 4.6 points. So he's really, really going to get you a dud or he's going to feast. And I think tonight he'll probably – I think Lockett's going to have a big game. If he's in the lineup, he should be healthy enough. And I think it's going to be a shootout tonight. Lockett should put up some numbers. So Dim's wideouts are going to be the key for him this week. And then he's got Hooper at tight end, leaving Jonnu Smith on the bench, even though I think Smith is the better tight end. Gibson against the Bengals. Gibson keeps chugging along, like Hall said. Just him and Robinson keep plugging. So this is a tough one to call. I mean, I think Ross can do it, though. I'm going to lean Ross here. I like Ross's matchups. I like Ross's matchups just a little more. Projections are too favorable for Dim.
I like the two Henry and Robinson. They both play the Steelers and Baltimore. Those are tough rush defenses. And then, I mean, I was talking to Dap, and most people in the league remember this when Hopkins and Lockett played on Sunday night a little while ago, and they went the fuck off. That was Lockett's 45-point game. Yeah. So tonight, I expect D-Hop to get his. I just hope that Lockett gets shut down. I think on my side of things, obviously it sucks with Swift, and then even Edwards-Helaire popped up with an illness, so obviously not ideal, but we like our 4-headed monster at running back. But I think my sneaky play, I thought about it a lot. I almost didn't use my waiver claim, but I did on Taysom Hill. I think 4.7, that's just like him getting QB numbers at the tight end could just be a travesty. You know Sean Payton's going to bring him in the red zone. You know he doesn't like to hand the ball off, so I'm hoping he gets a rushing TD, maybe throws it a little bit. Hopefully Winston throws a pick. So we think that might be the steal of the week at the tight end spot.
I didn't even touch on that. I totally forgot about that. In a way, like, seems like it's kind of bull crap in one sense, but it's like, if he was to be named the starter, I would feel like, how would they let him, like, because Matt Berry said, though, no matter what, he said it specifically, if the Saints come out and name Hill the starter, he's still tight end eligible. And I was like, that doesn't seem really right. Like, but it seems like for this week it's going to happen. So he's going to get run at QB this week. I can almost guarantee that. Peyton he might even end up playing him more than Winston. You never know, because he does. Ross knows that he loves him. He loves Taysom Hill. Now that Breeze is fully out, he's got his chance to see what he's got in him. So 4.7.
Yeah, they re-signed him too.
I think he could throw a touchdown. He could probably double digits this week. He should have been someone's over.
Just where I'm at though with tight end, like it's like I'm going to take that chance over Noah Fant getting me 5 points or Goddard give me 6.
Yeah,
like,
someone
give me that. Give me Taysom Hill.
He deserves to be in someone's lineup this week in this league. I mean, with the potential for him being QB. But I just, like you were saying, you're 4-headed running back. I like Ross's running backs, and I think they power him to a win this week.
Any thoughts, Joe?
I like it, but it's got to be closer than projections. But I have a hard time seeing Dim lose this one. But especially with Hopkins against that Seahawks defense, I think that's going to be the game changer. If he can go over 20, I think Ross loses. If he stays under 15, I'm going to give Ross the win. That's the key to look out for.
We'll see how game flow goes in the Dallas Vikings game. If the Vikings maybe just get up big and Thielen doesn't do much,
I totally agree with the Taysom Hill point too. I mean, what D. Brown said, that could give him 2 points, or it could end up being a 15-point game with a rushing touchdown, 100 yards passing, a couple catches. I
think it's going to be more towards that. I think he's going to get used a lot, passing wise. And he's going to throw a lot more.
Oh yeah.
Agreed. I also agree it might depend on all on Dim's running back matchups. James Robinson playing is not going to be huge.
Yeah. I just hope I don't get down too big tonight.
Mahomes on Sunday night too. Any Monday nights are in this? Anything besides that Sunday nighter?
My kicker, who put up a hell of a game the other night.
He's been solid.
hot. Go look at his game log since I picked him up. It's like,
I know.
But I think that's it. Is that the
Colts
last
D,
matchup, Dap?
You're gonna start Colts D this week against
Yeah.
Green Bay. I mean, they're the best.
I'm riding them. I'm lock it and forget and put the Colts in for the rest of the season after what they've
I
done.
like that. I like that. They're a good defense.
They're solid, yeah. All right, boys. Well, I know I was only here for part of it, but it seemed like a great podcast from what I caught.
We're gonna have Charlie full here next week, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully rest of the season. I was hoping maybe Thanksgiving week we could possibly get Dim on. Maybe he doesn't have to work late Wednesday because it just feels like he's the one guy who hasn't been on it, and he's probably deserved the most to be. So
We need him on. We're still 8 though. It's like.
All right, boys. Let's send it off.
All right.
Good game tonight.
Big game tonight.
Let's go.
Big week in the
Let's go
Valley.
Pirates.
Let's go.
What we got tonight, let's do this right. Let's do this right. Let's go to